So Rock is the family office for the Gilberts and the family of companies. They were the client for this space. They have always really shared space within kind of the larger FOC footprint. So really one of the most important things was really having a space that would be catered towards all the unique needs of that specific company. When Pophouse starts a project of this scale, we are really kicking it off with the discovery phase, and we are taking time to understand from all of the different stakeholders and end users what is success going to look like for them. And some of this too is working with the different partners on the project to establish what is a successful time frame in which we can accomplish this, and make sure that we're really trying to see around any pitfalls, see around any corners, and set us up for success in the long run. And we're taking all of that information as we move into schematic design and really putting it to paper. At this point, our team's building a narrative and a design concept that's really going to serve as our North Star as we're moving through the rest of the project. This is where we're starting the space plan. We are applying finishes to the space, and really we want to walk away from that phase of work with an approved design. Moving into design development, this is really our documentation phase of the work, and really where we are transitioning all of the approved design scope to our architectural, engineering, and construction partners. Now we're coordinating every art piece location, every light fixture, every plate that's going to be in the ceiling or on the wall. One of the unique things about this project for our team is we were really functioning as an owner's rep. So the client, Rock, was extremely involved in the design process on the front end and really getting to what is our intent, what do we want the space to look and feel like, how are we going to execute it, and then really trusted our team and all of our partners to execute the design that was approved and promised. And it required just a really high level of attention to detail from all parties. And it was just really cool to see all of the partners being willing to go above and beyond to make sure that the vision was being executed in a thoughtful way. One of the executives at the end of the project, we were celebrating, toasting to it being done because it had been so many years in the making. And he just said, after all of these years and moving down to Detroit and being in the space we were in, this space far exceeded all of my wildest dreams for what it could have been. And that was super rewarding to hear.
The entry space was designed with the city of Detroit in mind. So the flooring pattern made out of multiple colors of terrazzo was based off one of the original drawings of the Detroit city grid. The finishes within the entry feature a mix of natural wood tones as well as this man-made terrazzo element that works perfectly in harmony to showcase the beauty of each material. One Easter egg that we left with the installation of the terrazzo in the lounge area just outside the entry was the team writing our name on the back of one of the stone pieces prior to it being set in the terrazzo.
Some of the design inspiration for Central Hub was to celebrate Detroit and to pull that into the space, celebrate the community, the legacy, the possibility. Rock Ventures wanted a space that they could come together to support the entire FOC, and having a space that had a lot of innovation and intersection to it to support those connections.
Finishes were a huge piece of this project that I enjoyed working with. So the woodwork throughout the space is just a unique opportunity for us to try to use new materials in different ways. We have wood channeling throughout a lot of the column features, wood walls, wood channeling in sliding doors, unique ceiling features. It was tricky to match wood tones across different vendors and different manufacturers, but ended up being a very fun puzzle to work on and bring everything together in a very cohesive way. This project was a huge collaborative effort across a lot of our team. So it was really exciting to work with new team members and take on different challenges together. Going into the pandemic, we were working on this project, so it was a unique opportunity to be more collaborative in a very virtual manner. It's so exciting to be in a space and see people using it and being a part of that story and that design.
So to start, this space was infilled, so there was no connection between the floor above and this one. So we started to look at where we're going to penetrate between the two floors. And in doing so, we started out with the smallest gap between the steel as possible, just to not really make a big impact. But then that came in conflict with the narrative about really celebrating the connection. So from there, we started to look at, all right, maybe this is more grand of a space. And we looked at the steel layout and kind of determined this central point, which already has a natural curve to the exterior, was a good spot. So when we're looking at the stairs and how we want to connect the two floors, of course, material is pretty important. When you're up at the top of the stairs looking down, you're able to see this beautiful fail mosaic, which is based off the isms. So it really draws your eyes down, but when you're down within this space, you start to see the wood that wraps that piece, and it goes up the underside of the stairs and draws your eye back up. I love to design in 3D just because I like to see things in plan and elevation at the same time. With this project, it was super helpful, especially when you're trying to connect 2 floors. Starting with 3D and then moving into physical is always the most exciting part to me. I can visualize it and walk through it all day long, but once it's a physical space, everybody gets to interact with it. We worked with M. Cohn & Sons. They were the fabricator of the stairs. The stairs are made of steel, which when we initially designed it, I wasn't 100% sure how thick we could go with some of this, but with their knowledge, we were able to actually kind of slim everything up and make it a little bit more sleek and seamless. It's nice to work with a partner that really knows their trade and is able to achieve results like this. So shifting from working in office to working at home was definitely a challenge, but it was also very beautiful at the same point because my wife and I just had a baby. So as I was working on this project and designing these stairs in this beautiful space, Rose also had a little one in the background constantly crying, hanging out, doing her thing. And I joke with my wife that during 2020 she delivered our beautiful daughter, and also I delivered these stairs.
In addition to kind of the day-to-day business needs of Rock, they need to support a wide variety of different groups coming in externally as well. So in spaces like this one where they could host a really large group, we've got spaces like the auditorium, which the auditorium was really designed to be more of that kind of intimate presentation group. And throughout the rest of this office, we really have quite a few grand spaces like the one behind me. So that one is really meant to feel more comfortable for that smaller group and something that was going to feel a little bit more casual, but still be really creative and artistic and inspiring. So in the auditorium space, one of the main focuses was really protecting the acoustics while still maintaining that kind of seamless sculptural design intent, coordinating with Ghaffari, who was the architect of record on the project, and the engineering team, and our acoustic consultant to say, how do we still meet this intent and do something creative with the materials that are going to allow for the acoustic performance in the space that we were looking for. So you'll see that we still maintained the tile on the floor, but then got creative with all the rest of the surfaces in the space. And then we partnered with Library Street Collective on the art curation throughout the space. So one of the custom commissioned pieces in it is by Cody Hudson. He did a custom graphic that was then printed on acoustic panels in the back of the auditorium. So the seats in the auditorium, when we were designing it, we designed something that was sort of built-in, integrated, seamless, like everything else in the space. And we decided to go with deconstructed Eames chairs in the space. So they are true, Herman Miller Eames chairs that we took the leg and the back off of and then coordinated with the mill worker to refabricate a spine for the chair. And then later with the legs, Ghaffari turned them into an art installation for Detroit Month of Design. So that was fun to kind of see that come full circle.
This private back of house corridor was specifically designed for the founder of Rock Ventures, who also owns the Cleveland Cavaliers. This project was really exciting to work on because it wasn't just one wall or one art installation. It was this full immersive experience. We really wanted to focus on creating this experience of almost teleporting the user from Detroit to Cleveland. We really wanted to capture that excitement and energy that is happening on a game day. It's just a really great experience working with Rock Ventures and the Cavaliers organization. We were really able to create a unique experience and tell a lot of the story of the Cavaliers.
So for the Cavs Closet, our team wanted to create a space that was like no other space. We really think about the overall feeling that a space gives you. Looking at the materials that we use, what does the space smell like? How does it sound? And you see that within the design. As you walk into the space, the doors are custom and they match the Cavs locker room doors. So you feel like you're getting a sneak peek behind the players' club area. And you enter the space and it's the same flooring that's throughout the rest of the space, but we've cut it down to look like the same scale as flooring that would be on a court. We've added the 3-throw line. So you almost feel like, it's your one shot. The lighting in the space, they're these great Tom Dixon pieces and they look like deflated basketballs. And then really thinking through the different materials, it smells like leather when you walk in there because we use real leather, similar to what the basketballs would be made out of. I think the space turned out this well because of how amazing our partnerships were. Collaboration was the overarching theme when it came to designing Rock Ventures, and it was a mixed blend of industrial, interiors, and environmental graphics, and that's where we find our sweet spot when we bring in all of our disciplines and we work really holistically together. There's this beautiful marriage that happens when somebody of a different discipline is talking to a different piece of the project, and I think there's boundaries that are pushed in that way. I've actually been able to tour the space with a lot of different companies, and the resounding wow to the impact in Detroit that work like this is happening here. Working on Rock Ventures, I think it just strengthened how we collaborate and how we come together and how we pull in the community into our work. It's not just about us, it's what we're doing that impacts Detroit. I think this project excels at that. Detroit to me is really this idea of connectedness.
So I moved here right after school. I'm from Ohio. Sorry, everyone, but I'm a Detroiter by choice. I don't even think I can put it into words.
Opportunity and excitement, a place to grow.
Detroit means opportunity to me. I really love the gritty nature of it and how there was tons of opportunity.
Detroit has so much inspiration. I really love that we get to work downtown and see our projects every day and see our clients regularly and be a part of the city.
It's a very art and culture based community. I feel like it is this perfect combination of people who really want to work hard and grit and brilliance.
There's always a dream to come back to the city and to work on projects that are going to help the city evolve and grow. It's all that, not just one word, I guess.